приятели и партньори! Последните 20 месеца бяха силно предизвикателство за всички дейности и бизнеси. Всъщност, за цялата ни цивилизация. През това време ние бяхме с вас, като бързо развивахме дигиталното си студио и подкрепяхме вашите събития, за да са още по-качествени и още по-близки до вашата аудитория. През месец септември бяхме класирани в топ 10 класацията на Международната асоциация на технологичните паркове за вдъхновяващо решение по време на криза. Сега ние ви предлагаме един надграден и подобрен клубхаус, за да сте още по-впечатляващи във всички ваши дигитални и хибридни събития. Добре дошли отново! Очакваме ви!
Good morning, everyone. With the 14th now episode of HR Navigator, the video podcasting club of Manpower Group Bulgaria, Clubhouse and Sofia Tech Park. I'm very happy that today we're having a topic that is so much about people and culture, but also so much about the technology that is so actively entering our lives, our daily lives, our work lives, and everything around us. You know, in the last couple of weeks, we've been so much hearing about ChatGPT that it was impossible that we won't comment on it really and see how this artificial intelligence is really entering our lives and where is the place of the person in this whole scene around us, basically. Today I'm having three very nice, really nice guests that we'll be talking with them. These are all leaders on the one hand, and on the other hand, people that are really into the things with technology. So I'll be very happy to share the conversation today with Benjamin Kadets, who is the CEO and founder of Popcorn Recruiters, a really technology-led recruitment company, a partner of ours in the whole C cluster, and also two people from flatexDegiro, which is the leading online broker, on the worldwide leading online broker. These are Kiril Panchev and Georgi Asparuhov. Very happy to meet you here, guys. This is actually, we're starting with you, the first HR Navigator that you're not here with me in the studio, but you're online. Benjamin is in Bosnia, right, Benjamin? You there?
Yes, that's correct.
Perfect. Okay. So we'll really do our best in the next couple of months to enlarge the topics that we're having, to enlarge the people that we invite. And it doesn't have to be necessarily here in the studio. We're actively talking about the online world, really. So this is the start of it. And I think really the topic is a good starting point for this new form of HR Navigator Club. So perfect, we can start with the discussion since we're having many topics to cover really today. But what I would really start the conversation with is the academy, the Java Academy that we recently organized together with flatexDegiro. It was basically for their needs, and it is a perfect showcase, let's say, of how whenever there is no people, this saying is everywhere, all around the world. So the talent shortage is there, how they are actively really making this talent on their own, for their own needs. So I would like to give the floor to Kiril. I think, Kiril, you were the one who born the idea for the Java Academy, right?
Yes, that is
Yes.
correct. Thank
Perfect.
you for this question. Yeah, the idea about the academy actually was born about a couple of years ago when my colleague Anatoly and I started to discuss what we need about the future potential of our company. Our company is rapidly rising and expanding, and we were needing a lot of people to cover all our needs because we were merged with our company Flatex. So in order to cover all of our technological needs and the future that we want to achieve business goals, we needed nice and knowledgeable people. And our domain is very specific, and the technologies that we use are very specific. So there was a missing gap between university knowledge and what is actual needed for us and on our market. It was more easily found such candidates, such talented people in the other ones in Germany because our company is international. But in Bulgaria, we were facing a little bit issues with finding such talent. So what we did is that we started formulating the idea, which is of course not something new that we have just created. A lot of companies are actually doing that, but a Java traineeship academy here would be a nice potential for us to grow the talent that we need with the specific knowledge that we need inside our company to be tailored and focused to our needs. Of course, we went through different stages and phases until the final idea, and of course, the right partners came because we didn't have the knowledge how to structure and how to lead such academy. And I want to thank you for that, helping us with the initiative.
Perfect. Thank you very much for letting us know. Really, also Georgi is here with us, so he can possibly add something to what you just mentioned. What are the main outcomes? It basically ended a few days ago, right? So you now see the outcomes of this huge, really, it's a huge project in a way because it's many stages, many people involved in it. And what are the outcomes at the end of the day, Georgi?
Yeah, we actually completed the first part of the academy just 2 days ago on Wednesday, and we ended it with a nice presentation of the students, what they accomplished through that academy. To be honest, I'm quite proud of what we were able to accomplish and what we did. We started with 13 students, which had some basic knowledge in Java and modern technologies. And through the 4 months of education, they were able to acquire and expand a lot of new knowledge about the technologies and the modern architecture. And the end result is a product or a small application which is following all the modern technologies and best practices. So after those 4 months, they are ready to join our company and work with the teams and help the whole company, not only the teams, grow and expand and work faster and better.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And Benjamin, both us and you know the struggle. Basically, this is our job, but how will this whole recruitment and really the need for people with tech skills, the people from engineering and information technology, how will that change based on what we're having as artificial intelligence nowadays around us?
Well, I think we all can agree it will more likely become even more valued on the job market, and these skills are in demand at the moment, while businesses are at the moment trying to find a way how to implement AI in their daily operations. Some jobs, such as data entry, uh, testing, even in QA, some of the aspects will definitely be automated by AI systems. But from the other hand, human work or human impact will still be visible, at least in the portions of the creativity, analyzes, design. Those are the things that most probably will not be affected in large scale. Uh, the use of AI also can create totally different opportunities for people with technical skills in fields such as engineering, having in mind that increasingly adopting the AI in the technology as a technology in the industry will most probably open a new site for technical engineers to adjust and create opportunities along the way with the AI technology. So overall, the job market will definitely remain strong with people with technical skills, but it will require in terms of continuous growth, continuous learning, and adjustments to the shifts that AI is bringing into the market.
Thank you. Yeah, indeed, you're right. So there are things that technology, or at least so far, cannot, make from end to end alone without the person. Really, this is indeed true. But we still see more and more and more different tasks, different things that usually and traditionally people did. Now done by artificial intelligence. So this is really changing the scene in a way. Kiril, what do you think? Can we rely on this modern technology boom? You being a huge technological company, basically, or do we need to focus our efforts still more on the human side, on the people factor, on the talent of the people?
Thank you for that question. It's really interesting, and we can probably discuss a lot more than our time frame that we have here. It's a deep philosophical question. To focus more on technology or the people, I would say that we can go back even to the old myth about how humans first got the use of fire. Everyone has heard of that, like when the Titan Prometheus stole the fire from the gods and gave it to mankind. People started using fire, but they actually didn't have the wisdom how to use that fire, which you've chained Prometheus to the rock, etc., etc. You know how the story goes. But what I want to say is that without developing the people and that wisdom how to use the technology, we will suffer at some point.
I really like what you mentioned. The thing about the fire and the wisdom is probably really the answer to this question, let's say, because we will be having both people and technology, and they need to work.
I don't want to say that technology is bad. Don't get
No.
me wrong. With the boom of technology and the exponential growth of technology, the modern medicine, the modern technology, the human lifespan has grown substantially through the years, especially the last 100 years. But we should also focus on the people, as Benjamin said, the creativity part. Yes, technology is helping us with automation and may lead to some jobs being lost to the market, but that will create more new jobs. 20 years ago, nobody has even thought about jobs like search engine optimization and stuff like that. But now those things are trivial.
Totally. You're indeed right. guess in this sense it's the paradox of the chicken and the egg in a way, but who is the one that is the first to extend its hand, the machine to a man or the man to a machine nowadays? 20 years ago it was different, but nowadays it's possibly different as well.
I would say that both go hand in hand. I mean, newborns are actually born with that technology. They are quickly adapting to it. And that's one of the reasons we chose to help and create that academy, because millennials have grown up around technology, and their natural affinity for technology and ability to apply and understand different technology quickly sets them apart from generations in the workforce.
Totally, yeah. You mentioned 20 years ago it was really different. No one thought that we'll be searching for search engine optimization. Someone.
That's one of the examples, of course.
Just
many jobs don't exist anymore, but many more have been created.
Absolutely.
So I would say the total net impact of technology so far has been positive. Although we all see huge blockbuster movies focusing around post-apocalyptic world where technology is the enemy.
Yeah, absolutely. Even 20 years ago is kind of a large scale. Even if we say 5 years ago, many roles still didn't exist. So that's kind of a different story, and possibly this it's accelerating even the speed of the change that we're seeing nowadays. So how are we going?
That's in accordance to Moore's law.
Yes, absolutely. So how are you going? George and Benjamin, whoever would like to share an answer to that. But how are we going to work in future, in the next 5 years or in the next 20 years? I guess next 20 years is kind of a difficult for answer, but next 5 years possibly, because this is really changing. Things like ChatGPT are really changing how we're working. Possibly here is the time to say that actually most of the questions that I'm asking you today are generated by ChatGPT. I just went to the platform and I said I'm going to make a podcast on the topic, the human age on the verge of AI agents. Please give me a few questions, and he did. And I told him, perfect, these are very nice questions, but can you do a little bit more with a focus on people skills and what we'll need from people? And he said yes, and he did. So most of the questions that I'm asking you today are from there. This is really changing the way how we are working. I made these questions for 5 minutes instead of the usual 1 to 2 hours. So this is something. What would you say for the next 5 years or so? Ben and George.
George, do you want to start?
Sure, yeah. I just recently get familiar with ChatGPT and its functionalities. To be honest, the first time I saw it, it was in one of my classes in the high school that I teach. One of the students was playing with it, and we were discussing topics like what we are going to have on the next exam, what tasks I can give, and we started playing with it and see whether it can provide us with an example of a task that I can give for the test, and it did pretty well. I was not able to use the task because they already knew it from the generator and the AI, and probably with the same ease, it could also generate a solution for the task it came up with. So I definitely believe that in the next 5 years, we are going to get use of all AI technologies, which are going to improve our work and make us work faster. And we will be able to accomplish a lot more things in the time frame that previously we needed to accomplish them. I see it pretty useful also for the developers because let's say to ChatGPT, you go to Google, when you have a problem or you need some answers, you go to Google, you search something, and then go through 5, 10, or even more pages in order to find your solution. And now with ChatGPT, you just paste the question or the problem that you have, and pretty fast it can solve it for you. I saw some examples where you put a code that's not working, and it can provide you with a solution where your mistake is or how you can improve it to work better. So definitely for the next 5 years, we can get use of it, improve our performance. What will happen after that? Let's hope it did not make our jobs useless. I think it's not going to happen, at least for the next 5 years or 10, if you need a little bit more time. But still, as Kiril mentioned, even if that happens, a new job opportunities will come by.
Yeah, thank you for that. It's a perfect example, really, and many people are fascinated. Many people in the tech world are fascinated by the fact that they can put their code and see where the mistake is. While this is the usual struggle of the tech person for long years and for many years, really. In a way, this is we're doing our jobs faster. So for 10 minutes I got the questions for today's conversation, but of course I'm still human and I still prefer to see how the conversation will go and then ask you a specific question. So possibly this is the the formula. I'm having the questions, but I'm not following them as a script, because if I'm following them as a script, I will now sound to you like a chat person, not GPT, but chat Maria, or something like that in a way. So possibly this is really the answer. Benjamin, what do you think about the future, really the next 5 years or so?
My honest opinion is that Chat GPT and Bird and all the other models that are being implemented, it just introduction what we are being faced with. And even Kiril mentioned SEO as a practice 5 years ago. I don't think SEO will function a couple years ahead, because everything which is generated now through ChatGPT doesn't help SEO of web traffic at all, because now you get information served in chunk of information that you only need as a summary before you go in deep analysis or visits of some specific locations or web traffic that could help you form a decision or form the solution that you're looking for. So I think we are facing the new age, as our people before us were affected by, let's say, automatization in the industry and production. Now we also work in a BPO industry, so it's highly automated industry, so business process outsourcing. They are looking in way to not to replace people, to give them more opportunity to invest in more critical thinking in design, while all other operations, transactional services and operations, are now done by AI through chatbots, through systems that are making connections that are reasonable and giving the end client satisfying solutions. So in this business perspective, I think it's definitely changing. It's already changing. It's affecting everyone who is involved in the process, especially marketeers, because they are investing so much in content, in web traffic, in impressions and everything. And then ChatGPT goes around it and just gives you a summary of a research that you can do by yourself for a couple of hours. And your experience with creating questions for this podcast is right on spot with that, because as you can imagine, our answers will be also chat GPT generated for this podcast. So don't be surprised that we are going in the same direction. My impression, even from personal perspective, if I'm sitting with my family and if we want to, I have two girls, one is 5 and the other is 8 years old. And if we want to watch something on Netflix, so I can generate the question, very specific questions, what type of movie would go for us if they are this year old. We want to kind of a comedy content, blah blah blah, and he gives me a couple of topics which most probably I will search on Netflix for, let's say, 20 or 30 minutes, and now I can immediately get it. So this is how it affects us. This is how we will get used to the model of asking any ridiculous question on ChatGPT, but not in the way like the search engine did it, because you were being quite aware of how to context the question. Now you can just blow it up from your head, and you're gonna get the reasonable answer. I'm not saying the right one, but the reasonable one that can help you move forward.
Yeah, it won't be able to decide instead of you. Possibly if you won't allow him to decide instead of you, but it will definitely be able to help you. What you mentioned, I have this experience as well. We had a bit of a argument at home, not that much a conversation with my husband about our holidays for the summer. And I went and talked to ChatGPT about it, and he really gave me reasonable suggestions about that. Very, very reasonable. So I was like, see, this is what the machine says, Yeah. In a way, it is entering our daily lives. It won't really enter only our work lives, but also our personal lives. Surely, they're already pretty much interconnected. But what you mentioned is really interesting as well. So Kiril said 20 years ago, there was no profession like search engine optimization, and you're saying, and there will not be such a profession in a couple of years. So this is another example, and we're seeing many, many of those around us, of professions that are coming and going and coming and going, and their life cycle is not as before. So if our parents, let's say, used to go to the university, study for a degree, a profession that is specific and certain, and they would go and work that very same profession for 40 years or something, this is possibly not going to work anymore. So academies like the one we're talking about also today are possibly going to be how we enter the job market, and then how we continue in the job market, because we'll need to have new and new skills each and every next year. So it's interesting. Kiril and Georgi, are you, as a big technology employer in a couple of countries, are you thinking more and more in this direction? So this academy that we're giving as an example is how new people are entering your organization. But I guess you have a lot more to share about what people currently in the organization, how they are studying the new things, and really acquiring the new skills and the new knowledge that they need in order to serve your organization in the best possible way.
As I understood your question, you ask how we help our current employees with acquiring those skills. Of course, we as a company encourage our people and provide all kinds of courses and materials in order to better themselves and grow themselves as people and professionals. We have special trainings. We have their line manager supporting that with their career paths and so on. There are many aspects that can be applied and are working in our company in order to grow and achieve that. Because as we have said, the introduction of AI into our daily jobs would be disruptive, but that's not a bad thing. 100 years ago, with the first automation when they start building cars, so that industry, that whole technological revolution was disruptive. A lot of people were scared about their jobs, and it actually turned out to be a great thing. So we should look forward and positive, but of course we need to focus our efforts in order to make people more adaptive and more agile. Of course, not only our company, not only the companies on the market, but also university needs to change the way they teach people and how to change their mindset to not impact only some factual knowledge. Of course, that's fundamental, but the ability to grow and develop themselves, that would be, of course, really important. and that's why we have focused on young people, because as we have stated previously, they bring new energy and perspective into the company. They are actually, as we have said, they are more technologically capable. They're naturally they have natural affinity to technology, and as again I have said, I'm repeating myself, so I'll stop talking. They are more adaptive and agile.
And how should people prepare for all this thing that is coming? Possibly back to Benjamin. So the AI, and not only the AI, but it's possibly one of the most really accelerating ones. But the technology is changing the way how we live, is changing the way how we work. How they can prepare for this changes and being learnable all the time.
Well, I think, it's not a matter of question of who do you know anymore, like it was before, because connections and networks were everything. Now it's totally different. Even if in small micro location, it's not who do you know anymore. So we are now fully open market in all options. We do a couple of big projects in Bulgaria. Nobody asks us where are we from when we recruit them, which is fully understandable, especially in tech industry where we work. We mainly recruit people in IT and BPO industry. So this is how it's expected of people to be aware. Essentially, people have to invest in new skills. It will not be common anymore just to be just to finish the college, have a couple of practical experience, and then you are already competing with other people on the market. I think it's gonna be lifelong learning options that they have to invest on. But if we just create a definition, it would definitely be a build of technical skills. So this is something that we have to be aware of, because all the adjustments that is coming with the AI and all the tools, especially let's say in recruitment industry, are immediately adopted, and we need to upskill all our let's say employees and all the people who are coming through our academy. We also have a recruitment academy for technical sources and technical recruiters. So basically on the early stage they are learning on Boolean, they are learning, which will also be replaced at one point of time. We will not need more complex algorithms that we are using now at LinkedIn as professionals. Most probably is going to be generated by other AI. Secondly, is going to be development of soft skills. This is something that ChatGPT will not help you, and most probably AI, at least in recent years, will not help you that much, because at some point you're going to stand in front of the human person and you have to showcase your ability to present yourself, your communication skills, your soft skills, your empathy, which is important in industries such as, I don't know, healthcare, education, customer support. So I think this will be crucial for everyone to acquire. Staying informed, I don't think this is a challenge for everyone, because we are bombarded with information coming from different channels. But staying informed on your specific industry interest or position, career interest, it's going to be a continuous engagement. And I would say, even understanding what will transitional phase bring to you in your career, this is something that you have to invest immediately. We as a recruiters are aware how changes will apply on us, how it will apply on candidates especially, and how will it apply on clients, because everybody thinks at one point all our professions will be replaced or at least adjusted by AI. I still think this personal contact and this personal investment will always have the strong position, but machine learning and AI will now take significant role in business operations, not in critical thinking, not in decision making, but in business operations. This is something that we have to be aware that we are being um, upgraded. I don't like the word replaced, but upgraded, it's the best word I can use at the moment.
Promoted, right, in a way. So technology is doing the repetitive tasks the simple tasks, the ones that are really consuming much time and effort for something that can be really replaced by technology. So we're on top of it. So we're in a way promoted to the next level of our jobs, possibly. Yeah, in a way. Yeah, and this is going to mean for every one of us, for young people entering the job market, and for anyone who is already in his during his career path, that we need to be very curious and always open, and always being. You mentioned something very important, Ben. Always knowing what is happening, always being aware of what is around you, always knowing the news and the trends and the new things, and really people are seeking for this information. Here Georgi can possibly share, since he's, as far as I know, actively working with young people. Are they curious enough? Are they learnable enough? And how and why is it worth it really to invest your time and energy in educating, let's say, or training them, or making them, developing them better?
I can for surely say that the young people and the one they are the ones that adopt technologies a lot faster than the other ones. As I mentioned earlier, the first time I not heard about ChatGPT, but when I was in touch with it was through my student who already played with it and they were using it. So all of them are very curious. They are exploring everything that is new and comes to the market, and it's free to use. They already know about it, and they are getting used with the new technologies. So for them right now, it's I believe it's easier to get used with them. Why it's important to teach is, as Kiril mentioned in the beginning, our industry, especially in Bulgaria, is highly demanding, and we need a lot of professionals, and we are in constant search for new developers. And unfortunately, the universities are not able to catch up with the demand, and especially with providing the desired skills by the business. And that way, we need to improve that. One way of improving it is with the academies. In Bulgaria, we can see that there are a lot of academies that are preparing the people to get into the technical jobs. Also, a lot more companies are starting their own academies to be able to develop own people and get them up to speed with the job that they are doing. And in order to improve also the education, we need professionals from the industry to help with teaching the youngsters who are growing and soon will become part of the job market. And unfortunately, being only a teacher is not enough, because you are not able to catch up with all the technologies and all the new stuff that are popping every week, every month. You get a new technology, you get a new practice, and if you are not in the business and you don't do it on a daily basis, it's hard to be up to date. That's why, for me, I believe that being able to work in the industry and also share my knowledge with the students that I have is most beneficial for them, because they are learning from first hand what's actually being needed in the job market and what's being used.
Let's hope more and more people will think as you think in in this sense, really, because that's kind of an important thing. Totally. So I am learning myself, and I'm also every day learning by myself, and then I'm contributing and I'm giving back what I've learned to the young people. So this is great, and I really hope more and more people will really think this way. So young people and the new people and the people actively in their career, okay, good. This is one side of the coin, but the other side of the coin, in this changing human age, let's say, based on technology, is the leadership. So the role of the managers, the role of the leaders, it's also not the same. If back in the time, for many things, I will come back to the example of the code that is not working correctly, so we put it in ChatGPT and he answers. Usually for some of the tasks, let's say tasks like this, you would rely upon your mentor or your manager or your leader. Nowadays you can answer yourself, so leaders are also promoted to the next level, possibly. What do you think, Ben?
Well, my take is definitely that they have to be aware what the changes are bringing for them too, because as much as we think that the replacement will initially go in this data entry or entry level position, I honestly think it will affect more managers, because now people feel that they are more independent in decision making, more independent in developing their own skills, because they don't expect this mentorship like they did before, in terms of knowledge transfer that was usually coming from upper level, from managers. But the motivation is still the crucial point that will stay and stick with the managers. Of course, strategic thinking, strategic planning, this is the things that they will stick with it, but they should not avoid investment in terms of the AI, initially in understanding how it will affect their operations, secondly how it will affect their personal expectation from their employees, and to invest again on this skill set that will not be replaced in any way, so from AI, especially in critical thinking. My take is that managers, at least at this moment, should invest much more in emotional intelligence. They have to understand how their people are affected by the work, especially the ones that are being now nominated as upgraded, promoted, or even replaced, because these people will feel jeopardized, and they will feel out of their comfort, and most probably look into the opportunity of internal growth or internal transfers across the divisions. So they have to be aware that this change management will affect their plannings and the implementations on strategies. I think even this hybrid model that we are now investing in terms of remote, or again, it will affect managers, especially when AI comes in terms of collaboration practices, analysis, and everything that has to be done. Manager has to ask their couple of questions to themselves. What is their investment and what is their role in this coordination process? If everything now can be even coordinated and even analyzed with some tools that can be now integrated with Microsoft Teams and Google Meet and everything. So I think that some limitations will arise in terms of their impact, but still they will need to be able to connect with and motivate their teams, build relationships with stakeholders, and manage conflicts, which cannot be done by AI. I think still this is a significant role, and they should not be afraid of the things that are coming in their direction, but they will have to be aware that some technical skills will be more compensated with the technology that is implemented at the moment.
Yeah. So possibly the summary of all this is that it's getting more and more difficult for leaders to be leaders, for managers to be managers, because your people are not in the office anymore, or at least not that much, and not necessarily all together. Your clients are not people who you see in person in many occasions. Technology is in there, and it is making most of the things that your people used to make before. You need to focus more on how to learn your people, how to develop them, how to make them understand this soft skills part that is so much more difficult than the tech skills part, I believe, for training of an adult, not a kid. So it's not an easy task in a way. Kiril, what do you think as well from your experience? Is this making you kind of afraid to realize, or challenged, or happy?
Ooh, how come suddenly I became the old one here to the question?
I can join in, Kiril. You can count me in also.
Yeah, joking. Of course, no, it doesn't make me afraid. Actually, I'm really happy to be living in such times. I have said many times when I was speaking with friends, colleagues, etc., that I'm really glad I am being part of that part of history where we can see that technological boom from. Currently, we have computers in our pockets. Like we said 20 years ago, that was not possible. And I'm really hoping that in the next 20 years we will see more technological boom, more accomplishments by the human race as a whole. We start conquering the our neighboring planets, stuff like that. So it's really exciting. The technology is making a really uh, big leaps into the future. We are talking about quantum computing, AI, as we have been discussing. All of that is helping us push more and more the boundaries of what is possible, and it's really exciting times. Probably 100 years from now, it will be even more exciting. More things will have discovered and developed. But I'm really glad for myself that I'm being part of the start, being able to participate in that. And as a technological person, I have a curious mind, and I'm always trying to better myself and to be on top of the wave. Of course, a lot of things are happening right now. It's growing exponentially. You cannot always stay on top of everything, but it's quite a nice challenge, and I'm up for it. So I'm not afraid, although being old.
And you do have the experience, as far as we saw from answering this question. Perfect. Ben, I'm sure you want to add something on that.
Yeah, I fully I feel the same as Kiril. I'm at my 40s. This is they said the best age. At least in business, this is my 5th year of running a business. So all other experience are not more relevant. I'm only focused now on entrepreneurial skills, and I'm junior, if I can say, in this entrepreneurial field. But I can see how the industry is affected. At least at my recruiters, we have a team of 20 plus recruiters at the moment. They are really young, and the difference between us is not that far away in terms of years, definitely, but in terms of the acknowledgement and understanding of the market, they are far away ahead of us. Also, they are missing a couple of skills, at least those skills which will help them to be more focused, to be more persistent, and more definitive in terms of what they want to achieve on the market, because they are under the influence of so many channels, so many practices, and at least and so many technologies where they are challenged how to make easy decisions, or and not even to discuss those complex ones. I think this comes with years, with experience. This decision making, this risk approach, this is something that we will have to invest and continue investing. Secondly, we have to understand what is happening with them. Their perspective is totally different from mine. When I was starting my career, my ambitions, my adjustments with the job market, we were quite flexible, while they are not at the moment. They are under the influence that they can do whatever they want, and from whatever location, and with any skills. I think that they are going to be more faced with the technology issues that the experienced managers, because we are resilient, resourceful, and this is something that will help us to find a way how to implement and to coordinate those technologies changes that are coming in. While for them, they will always wait for the new one, and this is their main challenge. It was Google, now it's ChatGPT. What's next? And they are impatient. They want something quick, fast, and fully applicable for them, and this is most probably gonna affect their, as you can see, they are more frustrated. Their mental health issues constantly arise because they are, fast-paced, influenced by medias and information, and this harms them in the way that they are not enjoying, at least in the early stage of their career. They even immediately have high expectations in terms of their compensations, their career growth, their acknowledgement, and that should come from the company. So I still think that we are more a little bit in advantage, having in mind that we know the past experience in terms of career growth and facing technology. I think I faced a couple of those during my career, but our role is still significant. We will not lose our, at least, motivational, critical thinking and all other roles, while we will be definitely challenged with the new way of work, especially remote and collaborative work that is now supported by AI, where all the meeting notes, all the predictions and summary and conclusions from the meetings that are now conducted online, it's done by AI. So basically, you get a summary from every meeting with a highlights from the meeting and conclusions, and even some predictions that what should be done. So for the team leader, this seems that like that's it. My role is totally being sufficient in this meeting, while for the manager is going to be a challenge to find a way how to still preserve this human interaction and how to implement critical thinking and empathy and so way in their communication.
Yeah, in a way. So the summary of this whole thing, and I thank you very much, guys, for all these beneficial, ideas and thoughts that you shared, is that yes, technology is here, artificial intelligence is here, and it is intelligent indeed, So we can use this technological advancement in the best possible way for our organizations, for our clients, for our people, for ourselves, and even for our personal lives, while in the same time really remaining the human in this whole scene. So having our critical thinking, having our emotional intelligence, having our curiosity, learnability, and all these beautiful words that will come up the way and not be part of the past as well. So thank you very much for this great conversation. I think we can continue for more and more hours, and mostly talking about what is to come, because it's really the thing, what is to come. If this we have now and it's free of charge, so what is to come in the next years ahead of us? But we'll focus our conversation until here, and I thank you very much for what you mentioned, and I hope you enjoyed our conversation today. Thank you to all the people that have watched us. Watch us the next time as well. We'll have you here live in YouTube, in our Facebook page. So see you soon in the next month.
Thank you.